independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Sorry, I'm about 3 minutes late. My phone decides to update at 5 till. Always something, but hey, I'm here. How are you? So comment in the comment section. Let me know how you are, where you're coming from, what you're having for dinner, if you're melting in this heat, whatever else you want to tell me. It's fine. So we're raffling off at least 2 cards. I haven't quite decided yet. Probably going to be more like 3 or 4. So it's a good night to be on. And we'll get started. So, couple reminders. We are in the last few days for bonus days. Don't look at the calendar. I've already turned it to August so I can stay ahead for events. But bonus days finishes on Monday, and Monday is August 3rd, believe it or not. Everything just kind of mashes together, right? So, bonus days, if you don't know, and you should know by now, for every $50 purchased, you will get a $5 bonus coupon code, and it would not be a video without the dog. Yay! So, bonus days, let's start that again. So, for every 50 you purchase through Stampin' Up, this is not gift certificates, this is not, but $50 in product, you will get a $5 bonus days coupon code, which you can redeem August 4th through 31st, so it's a great boost for your holiday or mini catalog. By the way, I've had some comments on that. So the mini catalog is not so mini, but think of it this way. The mini is mini in the sense of time frame, okay? Because it only goes for 6 months, not quite 6 months. So think of it as far as time frames. We've got the annual catalog and then we've got the 2 minis, okay? And then we have celebration and all the other stuff that happens too. But just FYI, mini does not mean in size, it means in time. At least that's how I had to have it for my brain. So, if you have not been reading, I want to remind you, my 14th Stampiversary was on Monday. I have done a personal promotion, so anybody doing a $50 order from now through Friday at midnight, the 31st, I will be giving you a bonus of some bling. So please let me know. And there's host codes and all that kind of stuff that go with that. So we'll get to that. But please let me know your choice for your bling. Okay? So Paper Pumpkin this month is all about champions. So it would be a great Happy Mail subject, right? So 9 cards, and then on top of it, the stamp set is a distinctive stamp set. And what that means is you stamp once, you don't have to stamp a second time to get all the details in, and it's a photorealistic stamp. So that means the flower looks like a flower you would photograph, not a cartoony, not an artist's rendition, that kind of thing. So that's what that means. All right, so events. I've had some people ask me, well, how do I plan, right? Well, here's how you plan. You get onto my website, stampinwithjohnny.com, you click on current events, and you flip over to my calendar on my demonstrator website, and I have my calendar up through October. So assuming the world doesn't flip completely upside down, we're good to go, okay? So let's see. And then I have to ask you, did you get yours yet? If you haven't gotten yours, please let me know. Happy to coordinate delivery, mailing, whatever the case may be. And then for tonight, okay, so we're making 2 cards tonight, right? Okay, so the suggested kit or the suggested sign-up kit, startup kit, I don't know what else you want to call it, but anyways, it's $99, no shipping, only tax, $106.67 out the door. I always put together a suggested kit to be able to do the projects that we're doing tonight. So without any other hesitation, let's get to it, huh? So, for tonight's suggested kit, and you can order anything current, including clearance rack stuff, to go into your kit, but this is just a suggestion and a sample of what $125 in products looks like, okay? So we've got a pack of thick white cardstock. We've got, I did my pile halfway upside down, so hold on a second. I gotta get to it all. A pack of white envelopes. A pack of basic black cardstock. Sorry, it's unwrapped. I've been using it. A pack of regular Whisper white cardstock. So the difference is this is 80 pound. Our thick is 110 pound if you are detailed in that way. Let's see. Sponge daubers. Dimensionals, and I do need to remind you, my adhesive tower, I do have dimensionals, mini and regular white ones, always on hand. I usually have 10. Right now I'm running a little bit low. I think I'm down to 5 or 6 packs. So I usually have this. I usually have the multi-purpose glue. I usually have the glue dots. I usually have now, instead of the snail, I usually have the Stamp and Seal, as well as the Stamp and Seal Plus, and a few refills. So if you're running low and you don't want to wait a week, please let me know. I'm happy to give you what I have and then reorder, okay? Let's see. Oh, and tear and tape. Almost forgot. Sorry about that. Let's see here. So sponge daubers, dimensionals, memento ink pad. Almost forgot where I was. Hey, the refill for it. The Mini Mates bundle, so that would be the dies as well as the stamps. Okay, we're gonna put those over there because I might need those tonight. And then the story label punch, and I know I'm using that. I don't know if I've already used it, but hey. So a couple other things last minute. So Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the new die cut machine. The large one is available September 1st. Be watching because I will probably do a promotion to launch it. And the small or mini will follow shortly, and no, I don't have anything more than that. I wish I did. So please continue to comment because I will be raffling off a few cards tonight. And let me put you down so we can get going. Hold on. Let's see here. So how's everybody doing tonight? I know the last about 10 days have been extraordinary. We'll just say it that way, okay? This, some businesses shut down and others not, and restrictions and all that is fatiguing me. And that's how I'm choosing to say that. And I am continuing to write letters to the governor's office because I think that's the only way to effectively be heard, because I'm not going to go party in the streets and do this rioting thing. So that's what I'm choosing to do, and we are moving on. So let's see. So for tonight, I am grabbing my computer right now, and I am... One second, guys. I'm just waiting for everything to catch up to me because evidently I'm going faster than what can run right now. So I'm going to find the video, get hooked up on the comments, and see who's going and what's happening. And we will be just fine in about 2 seconds. So, yeah. Was running a little behind, but it's okay. I love it when your smart stuff, you know, tries to outsmart you in updates. But hey. Alright, so, hey Sean, how are you, hun? Hey Serene, glad to talk to you, honey. Hi Iris, Miss Cheryl. Car's fixed, right? After servicing, I guess they hit a wrong button and made a light go on. Gotta love those computers. Alright, so without anything else, let's go. Alright, so blog is stampingwithjohnny.com, YouTube, Stamping with Johnny. Order johnnydaniel.stampinup.net. The code is D as in doll, H as in Harry, K, N as in Nancy, Z as in zoo. Are you part of it? M as in monkey, W as in walrus, and P as in Paul. Alrighty. So if you want to join my team, johnnydaniel.stampinup.net, you can click on join now, or you can simply do the slash and click join, or type in join _ now. But to me, it's easier just to go and then click on join now. All right, so if you are creating with me, let me get my stuff cleared, but I'm going to give you a minute. If you're creating with me, you will need a card base, you will need an outer mat, an inner mat, meaning one that's smaller that nests inside of it. Doesn't matter how small, doesn't matter how big, as long as it doesn't stick out past the side so it can fit in the envelope. You will need a sponge dauber, sponge, Q-tip, or something of that nature, some kind of punch, some kind of label, some kind of stamp, ink, adhesive, possibly dimensionals, pop-ups, dots, whatever you want to call them. In Stampin' Up! World, dimensionals, and some kind of adhesive. I'm choosing Stampin' Seal. Gee, I wonder why. So, let me clean off a little bit and get down to where I need to be, and we will get to going, because I have quite a few cards on my desk that we're going to create tonight. I posted this one, the outline sunflower, on Instagram, and it followed through to Facebook. When was that, Serene? Tuesday? And I had a whole bunch of comments, not only from you, but also on Instagram. So I thought, let's do that one. So that's how we came up with tonight. I had a totally different plan, but that's okay, because I'm not here for, well, some of it's for me, I will be honest with you. But I'm not here completely for me. I am here because if you ask for something, I'm going to try to do it. I can't always do it, but I'm going to try. So, let's see here. So I've got that already pre-done. That goes over here. I'm just trying to get myself straight. Good luck with that, right? So, for tonight, scratch, 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 mat. Okay, so I've got my card base. You don't remember commenting? Oh, you don't remember which day? Yeah, no, they're all running together. It's all good. So for tonight, instead of doing the tabs like this, or the stencil like that, I'm actually going to do more of a polka dot pattern. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so for tonight I have thick whisper white cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, if you're doing mass card bases, here's the tip. Score first, because you can score through the entire sheet of paper, and then you only have to cut once instead of scoring twice. So if you cut the card base first without scoring, then you have 2 sheets, and then you have to score on both sheets. Whereas if you score first, you only go through 1. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, so you're going to cut 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score at 5 1/2. The valley side is what gets put on the outside. The bump, the mountain, gets hidden on the inside. That's just so we go with the fibers of the paper and it doesn't crack as much. Okay? So with that, we are going to find our mats, and I say that loosely because I have a whole pile of scrap over here, so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. So before you glue down, I hopefully caught you, okay? Before you glue down, you are going to, oh, that doesn't go very far, does it? So maybe instead do dies, but hey, I'm going to run with it and keep going, but I'm going to grab an extra piece, and I am going to make my stencil for my polka dots. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, where's my trimmer? Yes, I planned this, but I didn't plan it to the point so you can see how my brain works. Good luck with that, right? So I'm gonna trim off that piece because I want my punch to reach this other side. You'll understand in just a minute. Ready? Okay, here we go. So now we can do a little bit more of a randomized pattern instead of it being so straight on this side. Okay. And we're gonna do one over here. And I'm gonna do one on this end. This is the 1/2 inch circle punch, which also happens to be a perfect diameter for the daubers. So, and somebody might want those, but hey, I'm chucking those because, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I'm grabbing my white mat, and here's what I'm doing, okay? I'm grabbing this way, put my punch out of the way. I'm grabbing my dauber. Are you creating with me? I hope so. So you've done your punch, right? And now I'm just grabbing my dauber and I am going along and I'm creating my polka dot. Do you say polka dot or do you say polka dot? It depends if I'm paying attention or not. So if you're doing this with your mat, you'll want to remember after you're done just to flip it over. So that way, and I'm going to do this opposite so it doesn't look all lined up. You'll want to make sure to flip it over so you don't have any shadows going through, just in case, you know, because sometimes things shine through with even with our cardstock and the white. So if you're wondering, yes, I have a life. I have the dog barking. I have, you know, everything else that happens. And if you don't know this, well, you haven't been here. And I have, my kid is deciding to make a peanut butter cake from scratch right now. No, I haven't figured out dinner yet. Yes, I know it's after 7 and it's just my life and it is okay. Mainly because I made enchiladas last night and so I know there's leftovers if worst case, you know. So it is okay. All right, so there's my polka dot background. Kind of cool, right? So if you were doing the mat instead, you would just flip it over and glue it, but obviously I'm not doing that because it is a little bit too narrow for me. Okay, so I've got that. I've got this. How's everybody doing? Is anybody creating with me? I hope so. Miss Cheryl had a long day at the car place. Hopefully they got her car situated. You had refried beans with chips. So good. Yeah, some days you have carrot cake for dinner because that's healthy, and other days you have enchiladas from scratch, rice and beans and a margarita. You know, it's just what it is with life, right? So I'm just centering this on here. And I am grabbing my scrap piece of white and my scrap piece of black to pull this all together. Is yours coming together? I sure hope so. And I'm gonna do another thanks because I do a lot of thank you cards. You guys are really good to me and I appreciate that, really. So, hey Steph. Hey Nanette, how are you? No, I haven't gotten the stuff off to Sam yet. So, we will get there though. Did the party get canceled? I think that's what I read. And it's just too bad. I'm so tired of seeing everything canceled, but I understand, but it's still frustrating. All right, so let me close this up, and here's why. I always tell everybody close it up, right? So what happens the other day? I forget to close it up. I set it on the edge of the table and I have this nice line like right across my arm. So close it up. Remember to close it up. Even if you're the one saying it all the time. Because it's what it is. So this is the story label punch, if you're curious. Hey, Jode. How are you, honey? Your hair looked cute, by the way. So, for those of you that don't know, hair salons are fun right now in the desert because we get to do them outside. Hence why mine is growing out, because you're more adventurous than I am, sweetheart. Alright, so I'm cutting my black one in half. Okay. And I am grabbing my Stampin' Seal. And I am throwing a line down here and throwing a line down here. And we are just giving a little bit of matte. Yes, we'll have to trim the sides and it is just fine. The everyday, I believe it's the everyday label punch, works a little bit better with this, but nonetheless, this will happen. It's okay. So I'm just trimming where it sticks out, and I'm trimming where it sticks out, and I'm trimming where it sticks out. The everyday label punch, there's not as much to trim. It gets hidden a little bit better, but hey, we still got to use other things, right? Okay, so with that being said, guess what? We're almost there, huh? And I'm gonna find my dimensionals. No, my table is not a huge mess, but it is what it is. And it is okay. So for those of you that have ordered the online class, I know Iris is on here. Please, if you want the Stamp of the Week listing, please make sure to print it off, screenshot it, whatever, because this weekend it's going to be changing because Stamp of the Week changes next week. Okay, so FYI for you. Yes, I have a printout. Yes, I can scan it, but I would rather not. So please, please, please go on there and get it done. Okay, so we've got that. I think it needs a little bit more. So, of course, where's Lisa when I need her? So, Lisa, we gotta do some bling, right? Okay. So we're gonna do some pearls here. You can also grab your take your pick tool. Up to you on what you do. For layout purposes, you usually think in odd numbers. Just saying. Shawnee, do whatever you want because you're gonna anyways, and it is okay because your stuff always looks great. But for some reason, I have to pay attention to it because it's just what happens. Okay, so we're gonna put one more up here and one more across, and then my card is finished. Yay! I have to stamp the back, but it's pretty much finished. The front is finished. So we went from the label to the polka dot. Hey Cheryl, how are you? So this is using our negative space. We don't want to waste anything. She's the spare queen and the bling queen. Yes, she has 2 titles. So this card was thought of, you know, with Cheryl in mind, because even the punch outs we have to use. So there you go. All right, so onward and upward, right? Okay. So let's get to going on what we came here for, right? No, I'm just teasing you. All right, so I've got my sunflower outline punch. So I'm going to be teaching you how to do this and some other tips on how to dress it up. And then we've got our inside one as well. And this is how to color on that embossing powder. So Cheryl, you're just in time, hun. This is another way to stretch your blends and your embossing powder, okay? So I'm gonna move my stamps so I don't get ink. You know how that goes, right? All right. So what I've done ahead of time, quite a bit actually, because I didn't want to be here till, 9 o'clock at night. So let me explain what I've done to set this up for you. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 card bases, and like I said before, I'm going to be raffling off, let's see, 3 of the sunflowers and this guy, okay? I think I have to keep the polka dots. So we're going to be doing 4 cards total, so make sure that you comment, share, all that stuff. That's okay. We're good. She's the scrap queen too. So, all right, so we've got 4 card bases to set you up if you're following this and want to do this card. So Serene, this is for you, hun, so that way you have instructions, okay? So if you're doing it singular, obviously just cut once instead of doing all of them. But you know me. It's, if one is good, 4 is better, right? Okay. So the card bases, you can use the regular kind that's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, or these are the long and skinnies. So these are all cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Up to you. Hi, Lise. Yes, we were talking about you, the Bling Queen. Hello. Thanks for stopping and giving hugs yesterday. That made my day. All right, so yes, I'm open to that, by the way. Just throw me a quick text, make sure I'm not getting in the shower, because it happens. All right, so for tonight we have the card bases and the black. Let me leave this here so we can point, okay? So the black outer mat is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Let me not say 5 1/4 by 4. I almost did that. So 5 1/4 by 4 to just go just inside, okay? So there you go on that. I've cut 4 of those monsters and calling it a day. No, I'm just kidding. Then I've grabbed Misty Moonlight and Seaside Spray. And what this is both pieces of cardstock cut at 3 3/4 by 5, okay? And then you take it and cut it in half at 2 1/2, and then you take 3 3/4 and then you divide it in half, so it's 1 7/8, I believe that would be, just under 2 inches, right? So, brain, okay, math. Please, can you check my math? So, I've also pre-cut out from the dies, the sunflower dies in black, the outline of it. Yes, I do have this die. If you sign up for a Monday, you're welcome to use it. Or you can order it, either way. Then I have the 4 centers for the Seaside Spray, already done, cut out, and ready to go. Yeah. And then I have, let's see, I have 2 happy birthdays and 2 thanks. Okay, so when we raffle off, I need to make sure that one's a happy birthday and one's a thanks, at least, so that way it can be different. And what I've done is I have already stamped with Versamark, sprinkled with white embossed powder, heated it, let it cool, obviously, and so I can show you just how we're gonna color these, and that's it. So, shall we get started? Yes. Okay. I hope that I gave you enough instruction on how it comes together. The Seaside Spray is the light blue. It's coming out a tiny bit more blue on the camera. It has a little tiny touch more purple in real life, so it's more of a periwinkle color. Okay, so to stretch out your embossing powder, if I had to pick 2 colors to only get, Well, Christmas is coming, so maybe it'd have to be 3 with like a gold or a silver metallic. But the main 2 that I always use, clear and white. And if I had to pick out of the clear and the white, I would say the white. So just FYI. So I'm grabbing my Stampin' Blends. I've got on the table, I've got my Magenta Madness and I've got my Misty Moonlight. I'm grabbing my darker shade of my Misty Moonlight for right now. And honestly, I think I'm going to do all of them this way because my cardstock matches. So I'm grabbing my goodness. Okay. I'm grabbing my Misty Moonlight and I'm just going over my embossing. Just super quick. I'm not stressing if I hit the black cardstock because it's not really going to show. Yes, it'll show like if I have a magnifying glass, but for general normal kind of thing, not a problem, right? So that's all there is to this magic. See that? Okay, 1 down. How many more to go? Okay. So I've got that one done. So I've got Stampiversary going right now. I've got bonus bling with any $50 order, and that's for every 50, by the way. So if you want to be on the VIP list, don't want to host, don't want to mess anything, order 150, you'll automatically be on the VIP, and you'll have 3 bonus packs of bling. But that all has to be done before Friday. So that is not including anything with the holiday catalog. Just FYI for you. For those of you that order online with me, just FYI, the online ordering system is actually changing for the better. It's becoming much more picture friendly. So we are good with that. It's supposed to be easier. There's a training for it. When is that? The 30th, I think, which is tomorrow. Okay. So we will see. But I know I will be partaking in that training to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can, so I can do the best job I possibly can do for you guys. Yes, really. So I'm just going to grab on the side because I'm tired of going through and doing letters. And yes, you can do this. It's not a problem. Ready? There you go. Okay? You can be particular or you can just sweep across it. I'm sweeping across this guy because I don't have all night. I don't know about you. But if I can get 20 cards done instead of 3, I'm going to go for it. Okay? Because that's how my life is a lot of days. Alright, so I've got all my guys done. Now, they are alcohol. They do dry fairly quick, but it is still on top of embossing powder. Hey, Michelle, how are you? So, because it's on top of embossing powder, you need to let it sit for just a second. Yeah, it is kind of a bummer, but I had to cut the line somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to separate these out so I know how many cards and what I'm doing. I don't know about you, but I think in assembly line when I've got more than like 2. Okay? So I'm grabbing my card base. And so these are cut to have about a 1/4 inch in between. I want to do 1 card base at a time. If you don't think you can do straight enough, overlap them. Make them crooked. Do whatever you want. Not a problem. This is called creativity for a reason, huh? So I've got this guy. So when you're cutting out these sunflowers, you can either put an adhesive sheet behind it so it becomes a sticker, or in my case, because I always forget about that, I'm going to put some glue dots behind and make it work. Not a problem. So there's that one. Now, couple tips for this. You're gonna wanna put the center on there first because it's really hard to get the center to go down into your lining up. It's just easier to make sure to go with the center down first so you don't have to worry about whether or not it's gonna work or not. With the sunflower die, you want to make sure that you've got the backside facing you when you're putting your glue dots on. And by that, I mean there's actually a back to where you can see the little indents or dots have poked through, and it's not as flat, shall we say? And you can see kind of where it's more raw. So you just want to make sure you've got your front and your back done correctly. Okay. And I'm going to stick this over and bam, look at that. There's one. Kind of cool, right? I want to also show you simple cards can be fairly quick. You don't have to always, now there's a time and a place for it, but you don't have to always have cards that are like 3 hours to make, okay? So this is a quick card. Some ways to dress this up. You can stamp on the background to create some background. You can do embossing folder. And if I were doing embossing folder, I would glue this to the black and then run it through because there's no base to this, to the inner mat. So, okay. And then I am grabbing my thanks and sticking it down, and that blue matches just perfect. So there's one. Yay! So just a quick, simple, easy way to get some cards out in the mail, because some happy mail is definitely needed, right? So all right, let's see if I could get this centered. Okay, got it. No problem. All right, so now I'm gonna do, am I gonna do cattywampus? Yeah, I think so. Because we gotta do different. We can't always have the same, right? So I'm actually gonna do just 2 overlay, overlay, yes. And then I'm gonna do overlay, overlay, and see how this works. Just want to be different. Go figure, huh? Okay, and I think like that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do this one this way. And I'm going to do happy birthday. Where'd my dimensionals go? Oh my gosh, they're right in front of me. Hello. So we're going to do here. We're going to do here. This one's not coming up, so I'm going to do my Carol trick. And thumb in the middle, thumbnail in the middle, and then it'll peel up. Okay. So we've got that. And Serena, I bet that one's your favorite. So, right? Okay. No, I didn't use the sunflower, right? That's okay. I mean, I could peel up, but honestly, nah, it's all good. So, it's called variety for a reason, right? Okay. So we've got that. We've got this one. I don't know, how many of you have tried the new Stampin' Seal? Do you like it? Is it still on a learning curve for you? Are you happy? What do you think? Personally, I really like it, but I also have found that the rolls, if they sit out in the sun, have not always been great. So you just gotta make sure, if it doesn't work perfectly, give me a call. Let me know. So that way I can get you a new one and get it fixed and going for you. No problem. Okay? I have noticed that they're either perfect or they're not. So, put the sunflower on the inside. Yeah, but then how do you write in there? Oh, I could put it on the top, can't I? I didn't think about that. I will do that. Always, always, always thinking. Thank you, Iris. So, all right, one more glue dot to this guy. And we're gonna come back here and we are going to get our middle with a little bit of a spot of maybe a spot of Stampin' Seal on that Seaside spray. Okay, and there we go. Cool. Need something down there, but that's okay. It'll be okay. It's just different is right, isn't it? All right, so where's my other sunflower? So all different ways to make this card just be a tiny bit different. When you're cutting the same thing, I don't know about you, but I get tired looking at the same thing all the time, and I just wanted it to not be exactly the same. So there's another one. Okay, and we'll put thanks inside this one, and then the last one will have happy birthday. So sideways, backwards, you know, whatever we gotta do, right? Let me throw this away. So last but not least, okay, where's my black? Here's my black. Okay. Can't do much about the mat, but we can do how we place and all that kind of stuff and get it together, right? Okay. And I have extras this time because we only used 2 on those other ones. So this one, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. The only thing you gotta pay attention to is how many layers you have, and here's the reason why. Guess what happens? It gets heavy, right? And if it gets heavy, what happens? We pay more postage. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Depends on what you like to do, I guess. But it's just something you need to be aware of, especially if you're doing like Christmas cards and you're doing like 200, you may not want to have to put an additional ounce because you thought the Christmas tree needed a star, you know? I'm just letting you know what happens. So we're gonna put that one down there. So that's different, right? Kind of cool, I hope. And we're gonna put the sunflower on the front. Don't glue onto my paper. Okay, put the sunflower on the front, grab a couple glue dots. So which one do you love, Miss Iris? This one that I'm doing or the one before? We'll have to see. If your glue dots are really boogery, which mine are right now because I didn't have the air on in my room all day, you can just throw them, if you don't want to deal, you can throw them in the fridge for about a minute or so, 2 minutes, and it'll make them keep their shape a little better. Everything melts in the summer, so it's okay. And this one's our happy birthday. Maybe. There we go. All right, so let's recap a tiny bit, right? The one before. Yeah. I like each one of them for different reasons. That's the problem. So if I had to pick, it'd be all of them. Please, thank you. So, all right. So let's see here. Excuse my reach. So this is the one getting raffled off. Okay. So we're going to put that in this pile. This one I like. It reminds me of a cow though. So, okay, so that's kind of cool. All right, so let's see here. So we've got this one with happy birthday. We've got this one that's a little more simple. Iris, is this the one you like? Is that the one you like? And then we've got our geometric. That one's for my Serena. So there, with the sunflower inside instead. And then we have the one that's done by the sample. Okay. And then we have another one that's done just like the sample. Actually, that is the sample. This one isn't. Okay. Because I had stamped them before. Boy, we did a lot tonight, didn't we? Whew. Okay. So there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, technically 7 cards, 5 during the live. So a little bit of prep and a little bit of assembly, and you could get a whole bunch done and go through some paper, huh? So I will photograph the ones I'm going to raffle off. I know it's going to be this one. We're going to raffle 3 total. And I know this has to be this one because that's Miss Iris's. That's the one we want, right? So let's see. And then we're going to do this one. And these are going to go into the collection, as it were. So we've got this guy that says thanks. We've got this guy that says thanks. I guess everybody's getting thanks. And only one happy birthday. So those are the 3 that we're going to do for raffle. So please, please, please. Yes, definitely samples. And if we ever do, you know, a craft fair again, we're not talking about that. So, anyways, so those are the 3 that'll be raffled off. Please comment, share, whatever you want to do. And thank you so much for joining me. And have a great night. Thank you. Bye-bye.